pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, stay with us on this meeting. Guide us with your wisdom. As approval of the May 15, 2024 meeting minutes, treasurer's report, approval of the bills to be paid at $24,527.34 for the May 2024, receive and file financial reports for May 2024, and the trail manager's report for June 2024. I hear a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the May 15, 2024 meeting minutes, the treasury report for the amount of $24,527.34 for May of 2024, receive and file financial reports for May of 2024, and approve the trail manager's report for June 2024.
Support. Thank you, man. At this time, there's public comment. It looks like there's not very many people in the public.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Lord.
do we need to vote on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Ready?
Ready to go. That's a roll call vote.
Yes. Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
McDonald, yes. Brakefield,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, now we're at the public comment. And we've only got one person public. That's it. Okay, moving on. Citizen rep report.
I have no report.
No report from Mr. Green. Unfinished business. This is 589 Joslyn Road property. The next step. I would like to pass this on to, what's that? It's unfinished?
5:30.
What did I say?
5:80.
These things are useful. Eh? Well, they do. Oh, 539 Joslyn Road. Linda?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So as you may or may not recall, 539 Joslyn has encroached on the Pollyanna Trail property. Our attorney has been corresponding with his attorney. His attorney has stopped responding to our attorney, phone calls, emails. The last one was sent out on Monday, basically saying, hey, what's going on? Call me back. What's happening? I did talk to our attorney. He is a well-respected attorney. She doesn't know what's going on. Where we left it last was the homeowner is trying to claim eminent domain on our property, but not from us and not him. He is stating that a previous owner of his property, 539 Joslyn, at some point in the past claimed eminent domain on previous owners, somebody at some time. I can find no records. I have gone through Oakland County, I've had multiple searches, I've had title searches, all the titles are clear. So we don't have a clouded title for any of the properties. I don't know what's happening. His attorney has stopped responding, so I have no information. The property is ours, we have it surveyed, and we have a clean title. That's where we're at. So I did it, just kind of looking for some guidance.
Yes.
So, no proof provided. No, that's not acceptable. So, what's our next step to enforce? We're not non-responsive. That's not really unless we have we reached out to the homeowner to say your attorney is not responding. Are you going to respond so that we can bring this to a head and go to the enforcement steps?
I have only contacted our attorney. I have not contacted the homeowner. The homeowner knows what's up. I've had conversations with the wife through a fence when we were out surveying the property with Kennedy Surveying. They know what's going on, but as far as holding up in court, I don't know what they are. You can't say I know what they know, but because you can't bring that to court. Our attorney basically says don't do anything until we get a response from his attorney, because now the attorneys are involved and it muddies the waters. It's our property. If I go over and cut a fence, his attorney could, do something, I guess. I don't know. So that's kind of where we're at. She's like, hang on, let me get a hold of the attorney. And that's where we've left it. And the attorney's not responding.
Could we have our encourage you saying this because it's gonna cost money, and I don't like spending financial money on these things, but we have to. Can we have our attorney write them a letter, send a registered mail to his attorney and to the homeowner stating that we have not had a response from you, we're looking to have a response from you for X amount of days. After those X amount of days, then we will take the fence down with the invitation of a sheriff deputy to oversee things and move on.
I think that's a good idea. However, I don't know how legal this is. Kristen's email with the history of the property, maybe the attorney could get that along with this letter and say, read it week, there is nothing in here.
Correct.
And so,
And I did find out that on June 13th, he did bring all of his taxes into compliance. He was 3 years behind. And as of June 13th, everything was paid 100% in full. So his taxes are paid. So,
well, I like John's idea. I don't know if we need to vote on that. It's money. Or you'll get back with us, or can you get back with us and tell us the cost or something?
I can tell you the cost. You know, it's standard attorney, you know, what does she charge, $150 an hour?
I would suggest you run the concept through the attorney.
Yeah.
So we're asking two things. One, issue a letter to their attorney and the homeowner. And then the second part of the letter would be, you know, saying, we haven't heard from you, we want to hear from you from X date. And then the second part of the letter would say, you know, if we don't hear from you, we're just going to assume that you comply or understand, and we're going to have the fence removed no sooner than this date.
How do you feel about that, Linda?
That's fine.
But I want to make sure our attorney,
Right, we need to go through her first, because I don't want to do anything that his attorney's going to come back and say, hey, you know.
I hesitate to ask how much money we have involved with this, because we have a survey, we have a lot of interaction with new attorneys on his part, old attorneys on his part. We need to move this on.
Right.
Because we have other ones.
That all sounds great to me. The one caveat I might add is that, well, I would like to know from the attorney, what costs are they responsible for? I mean, we're taking down the fence, there's costs associated with that. If they don't comply, can we bill them for that? Can we bill them for the fact that they're non-compliant? And I don't know if we can recoup any of the attorney fees. But what I am hesitant about is us turning this back to the attorney and then another 30 days going by before anything happens. So I'm wondering if we can say basically, if he agrees with our direction to make a move to let him execute, if he doesn't, then yes, then we need to get the response back and we need to make a decision. But the longer this drags out, the more it's going to cost us. The attorneys will, continue to communicate, or at least our attorney will continue to communicate, and that adds money. And I think at some point we have to cap this and say enough is enough.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the bills from the attorney, but every time we have a correspondence, we talk to her or she talks to or emails the homeowner's attorney. It costs us money every single time. And we're basically getting nowhere. We're just spending money having her send emails to his attorney, basically saying, respond.
I think that should be part of your discussion with the attorney. We're a nonprofit. We aren't going to continue to waste money on this.
Right.
We want the attorney's guidance to cut to the chase and get us to the end, so that we can have this resolved and quit the dripping of funds going out.
And this is only one of many encroachments we have, and there's more coming up. So,
Well, the reason I wanted suggested that we do a registered mail is, I want to be in the clear on this. We've done our due diligence on our side. If it were to go to court, and the court would go the case, we're trying to do what's right in order to get our property back, go on with life, get the expenses out from underneath the 501c3.
We need to move forward on it. Jonathan? Oh, I'm sorry.
The attorney at one point had talked about us having to do a title search. With our opinion, that's not like a legal.
That's not.
Those are the legal documents that are filed with the clerk. However, we don't have a history of the property previous owners, et cetera, that may have or had any transactions. So with that said, my opinion is that that property owner is the one that has to prove his claims. So I don't think we should spend money on a title search at this point in time, but I think that should be referenced again back to the attorney and say, what do we need? Do we need to do that to move this forward or not?
Right. And as far as I've been able to ascertain through Oakland County, through real estate agents and that sort of thing, our title's clear. There's clear title. There is no clouded titles on either one of these properties. We have deeds, we have a survey. He's not even arguing that that's a correct survey line. He knows that's a correct survey line. He just says he owns it. So.
Yeah, although proof provided, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what he's saying at this point, other than, and we've done our part of the due diligence. It's up to them. If they want to prove us wrong, then they can spend the money and do that. I think Kevin was.
I have a question. You said that he paid taxes.
Yes.
Does he pay taxes on that property?
He does not pay taxes on that property.
So,
Only the property that is deeded to him, which is
so
2
if it ever
acres.
came to court, then that would be something in our favor to say.
He's never paid taxes on it.
He's never even paid taxes.
Right.
We don't pay taxes.
Right.
If he had been paying taxes all along, he might have got a case,
Yeah.
at least try.
This is kind of going backwards, but it begs the question, if we do a property record search on that property ID that is adjacent to the fence, that is adjacent to the Pelican Trail, is it two separate pieces of property?
Yes. It has 2 different SIGWEL numbers. We have one, and our title was transferred over from Stan Aldridge and the Aldridge Holdings, I believe it was, and it was transferred to us. I did ask Larry Obrecht, who was the facilitator of the receiving of that property. He said that the railroad owned it, Stan Aldridge got it and had it for like 2-3 weeks to use to transfer materials over to the new course, and immediately quitclaim deeded it to us. So as far as I've been able to find out, the railroad owned it, Stan owned it, now we own it. So there isn't any time for people to have owned it for a previous homeowner to claim eminent domain, because that takes years. And there's.
I've heard hearsay, I've not seen the document.
I haven't
Hearsay
seen
that
it
you can't do an eminent domain against a government entity.
Right.
You can't,
You can't.
not the railroad even, they
Yeah.
didn't go to the railroad. So they can't say we took it from the railroad.
Right.
Do we need a motion to give Linda direction to go forward?
I think
Jonathan, did you have a motion kind of written up?
I do in my mind, I could work through it with, if that's the.
Please
pleasure.
do, please do.
I make a motion that we consult our attorney to draft a letter that would be registered mailed to the homeowner as well as to their attorney, telling that what we'd like to do, our position, we'd like to hear from them by a certain date. And that if we don't hear from them by a certain date, then after that date, we would go out and we would invite the sheriff to come along with us to take the fence down and to reclaim our property.
Now, there may be a cost with the sheriff's coming out with us, but I won't do it without a sheriff, so.
Then brings Matthew's idea, is there a way in the motion to add costs related to
Right.
this fence removal?
I will ask our attorney if we can recoup some of our costs because of non-activity by his attorney and by him.
Okay, so we'll leave Matthew's cost issue out of the motion. So we have a motion, consent the attorney to draft a registered mail to the homeowner's attorney based on a certain date that they have to reply. And after that date, we will then take action to remove the fence and not reclaim, but how do you say that? How do you say it? Reclaim?
Reestablish the property lines.
To reestablish the property.
Reestablish the property line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that good?
I think it's
Everybody's got it.
fantastic.
The letter needs to go to their attorney as
And-
well as the homeowner.
Yeah.
Support.
So motion made by Jonathan Knoll, supported by Matthew, and roll call
I need to read the motion. I think we know it.
We have to,
Yeah.
yeah, please don't.
Okay. Mr. Knoll?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald? Yes. Wakefield?
Yes,
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Um, Mr. Chair, just a couple point of reference. Do we have a meeting next month in July?
No, we do not.
In the event that you need to come back to the board and have a dialogue with the board in regards to this motion, how, do you want to wait all the way until the August meeting?
why don't we let the, Linda and Mr. Wright decide, do we want to call, if it's a big issue that we need to act on it, do we need to have a special, quick meeting to get this one issue resolved, make it and go?
And we can do a Zoom meeting too. I mean, we
Yeah,
can-
let's
we
just
can
leave
do
that
it.
open.
Yeah.
Or leave that knowledgeable to the board.
And if our attorney and everything works out and they say, yeah, you've got 30 days to move it, they don't move it within 30 days, et cetera, we can spend up to $500 administratively for sheriff
Yes.
protection. So we can do that as well.
And I may be able to help with that. This is, it's in Orion. and-
Right.
And between either our, I
We
could
can
probably
work it
help
out,
with that.
yeah.
Okay, now going on to the outstanding item list. I see Mike went out and worked on the, Mike and Bruce worked on the corral and made it nice, I understand.
It's beautiful.
No, I meant, I take that back, very nice, is that better?
And we, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
and we did, we removed and replaced all but the two main supports with gate. And we did replace the sign on it that was placed to thank the group and the people that originally built, funded. the
that would be, this
Yeah.
one is not
Right.
put away.
So, and
Okay.
we did have help, a couple of neighbors, came over and helped with completion on the last day. So it came together real nice. So yeah, we can remove that from carryover item list, I think. Thank you for your hard work.
Yeah. It's beautiful, Mike, and Bruce, wherever he may be.
Do you want me to go through the item list?
Sure, let's go.
Or do we
Rapid
want
fire.
to get out of here?
And rapid fire.
I move to waive the reading of
Okay.
carryover items.
It's all in your packet.
I'll second.
Read it.
Support.
Okay.
I'm working on it, guys.
Those agree to move on, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. And, where are we at? We are new business. I don't see any new business on the agenda.
No, I'm just desperately trying to finish up the old business.
Yeah, and Linda's been out cutting in this heat, so they
Looking
were out
good.
there.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask a question about the other encroachment or property, the NEC.
Oh, yes, back up to NEC.
NES has built a fence on Polly and Trail property. They understand they have done that. There's no discussion, yes, they did that. The village of Oxford has been, to my knowledge, talking to the owner, Mr. Anthony, about moving the fence. He doesn't want to do it because he's mad at MDOT about moving corner stakes, or I don't know, I don't care. You know, it's not my problem. As of today, the fence is still there. So Joe is going to be here. He's been working with them. He's had a death in the family. I mean, you know, stuff happens. The DNR has also seen it. They are not happy about it. They want that fence moved. So how hard do we push on Joe, or do we just, Joe, you had your shot, you didn't do it. Do we send a letter to the property owner basically saying, you have put a fence in on Polly and Trail property, you have 30 days to move it. If not, we'll move it for you
At your expense.
at your expense. We'll send you a bill for moving it. And I mean, I don't know what else to do, because basically by not doing anything, it's just, time is going by and it shows that we aren't aggressive. So they figure we're just gonna get tired and go away. And that happens a lot. A lot of people just figure, they'll get tired and go away.
Okay,
So-
my thought is to give Joe one more month to get
Okay.
this thing. Sage is biting the bullet.
Yeah,
Say,
she's,
Get us involved. We
Yeah.
will get this thing settled. So let Joe try one more time, but let them know that the DNR wants to take control of this, and maybe he'll start thinking it has nothing to do
Right.
with the MDOT anything.
should I send a letter to the property owner and basically saying, you know, because I've only talked to this guy on the phone, and
So I'm afraid that if Joe's been working
Yeah.
with him, would that cause a ripple, if you will?
right, and I don't want to cause a ripple within the municipalities, but I also, you know, at some point,
Can Joe tell you he's going to a stalemate and then write a letter?
okay,
Does everybody agree with that? Mike?
Joe was talking about a compromise, like if they had 5 feet, if he moved the fence back 5 feet, and frankly, I find it unacceptable. Property line is a property line, it's no different than this guy on Joslin.
Right.
And if anything, we should just add this to the list that when Linda talks to the attorney.
Yeah.
What's the next step on this?
That's right.
We're kind of at the same point.
now, the difference between the Joslin property and this property is DNR. DNR attorney will take over for us, we don't have to pay our attorney
Okay.
funds. So basically, I'm holding the DNR back while Joe is working with the landowner, you know, because they live in the community, but it's not getting anywhere. So,
Let Joe know that this council today decided we're not gonna meet in the middle, we're gonna go property line to property line. Because if we gave them halfway, guess who Johnson's gonna be screaming?
yeah, he's gonna be screwed,
Yeah, we can't set a precedent.
You can't.
Yeah.
And it isn't ours to do.
right?
It is the DNR's property.
So basically, if we can't resolve it, Joe can't resolve it, we send him a letter and we can't resolve it, then what will happen is we just release the DNR, and the DNR will just go in and take the fence down and
They'll do it.
they'll send him a bill, you know?
Yes.
I would just say, you know, get clarification from Joe that it's at a standstill. And let him know that, like you said, we want to let the DNR go so that this doesn't, again, drag out. If we're not going to meet in July, we're talking another 2 months. I'd like to, I don't know any context that would preclude me from saying, let's let the DNR handle this and get it done.
Yeah.
So that it's knocked out. But maybe there's something that Joe knows that I don't.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
we all have our conversations in regards to this as we're going through the community. One of the things I appreciate, you're dealing with you're dealing with the property owner, not the person occupying the building. So you gotta deal with the property owner.
Right.
And I think all fairness, because of the community involved with the Pollyanna Trail, I would suggest you talk to Joe. And if Joe is unable to work with the property owner, then turn it over to the DNR. I agree. With the list,
30 days.
property line to property line.
Within
Could
30
I
days.
could I suggest that, yes, Joe
That's
has
what
a
it's gonna be.
deadline as well.
1 month.
This is something to get done, and if it's not done, we will just hand it over to the DNR and let them.
Does the DNR, is this something that they're used to doing?
Yes.
Is this something that won't get drug out for 8 months?
Don't
because
say you
of
won't
the-
drag it out.
No.
She's biting the bullet.
Yeah, she's-
Okay, well,
What they'll do is they'll send a letter, she'll send a letter and say basically at 30 days, if it's not resolved, she'll turn it over to the real estate division and they get real crazy real fast. They just take care of it because they have a whole division, a real estate division that all they do is take care of this. They take them to court, they send letters, that sort of thing. Now, historically, on the south side of that bridge, I've had homeowners build fences right up to the property, right up to the fence, you know, they've attached it to the bridge years back. All I would do is go to the village would send them a letter saying, pull it back. I would get a call from the homeowners and say, sorry about that, and the next day it's taken care of, and I've never had an issue. I don't know why this is a different situation, so.
and that's you.
What this board today, don't want to compromise. It's only 2 of the property line. That's it.
Yeah.
We can't even do that. So I don't even know why we hold them back. Why don't we just let them go? I mean, whatever conversations are happening. they're
But we have a
not-
municipal that
Yeah.
is acting on the
Yeah,
Pollyant
but
Trails
same
behalf.
respect for you,
Yeah.
if you're working on something, we wouldn't want to override you and say, okay, you've done give them a chance
Well,
to.
no, I don't wanna
Yeah.
establish stuff on Joe, I just, again, these things drag out.
Do you need to give us 30 days for Joe? I mean, it's for
No,
the
he should-
village to work with them?
In
2 weeks?
my opinion, I mean, this is my opinion and take it for whatever it's worth. I would have gone to the homeowners or the landowners and I would have said, listen, you put the fence on the wrong place. Pollyant Trails contacted the village and you are in the wrong spot. You have to move that. If you don't move it, our code enforcement officer will be out here every day ticketing you because you've trespassed. And that's how it's worked everywhere else in the village. Why this case is different
Is
than
there
all
more
the other
than-
cases?
I thought there was gravel laid down as well.
There was gravel laid down. The homeowner or the landowner originally said, well, he'd been maintaining it. And I said, okay, stop right there. You can't claim eminent domain on a governmental agency. And up until about 4 years ago, there was a house standing there. So you can't say you were maintaining it because there was a house standing there. And the code enforcement officer contacts me frequently. Weeds are growing under the bridge. When are you gonna get those cut? Which I have to go out there now and cut weeds. So I maintain that bridge area, I mow it. And you can ask any homeowners, IMP is the only one that does request I don't cut the brush away from the bridge, like the grass, keep it short, because they want to deter trespassers onto their property and their storage facility, so I don't cut over there. And that's an agreement I have worked out with Dave Navarro. But everybody else, I'm mowing it. I'm mowing all the way along there and have for forever.
So does the DNR also remove the media that's been put down on their
They
property?
probably won't. They'll probably just leave it. It's not hurting anything. It didn't
Okay,
damage the bridge in any way, and they'll probably just leave it. It would damage it more to probably try to remove it.
Do you
So-
think we need a motion to give Linda the authority to write a letter or just tell her to do it without a vote?
I think in this particular case, because it may involve some legal action, particularly with the DNR,
Yeah.
we should have a motion. And I'm in favor of not the 30 days, the 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because I think that can be taken care of within 2 weeks, because they've already had dialogue. It's down to the point where, with all due respect, are you gonna do it or are you not?
Yeah.
Now, which one of us are gonna make a motion, Jonathan?
I make a motion that Linda Moran write a letter, put one in the Pollyant Trail file as well, to Joe Madore, as well as the property owner of that said property, requesting that immediate action happen within 2 weeks.
Really good.
I will take care of it.
Otherwise, we'll go to our next step.
Right, and the next step will be the DNR
Today's date or tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
I'll get the letter out tomorrow in tomorrow's post. I'll certify, register, receive
Can't
it.
do that yet.
No, you gotta do it tomorrow, because it's a holiday.
I know we need to
Okay.
have a second.
Oh, Matthew seconded, he was
Yeah.
real quiet about it.
Oh, did he?
I said
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you. The reason I said 2 weeks, because I don't see where 4 weeks is gonna help us.
No, it's not.
It's either gonna happen or not.
Right, and it's not, I guess the thing that frustrates me about these encroachments are, they know where the property lines are. They've been property holders in the community for a very long time. All of a sudden, we're having these homeowners that have been next to the trail before their houses were even built. And now all of a sudden, they're building these houses and they're trying to take the trail. I don't understand. Or legal dumping is really increasing.
My understanding is that that's a pie slice. It's not a square, 6-foot rectangle
Correct. It
piece.
gets
There's a pie
wider than
slice,
that.
and as it goes down farther east, the pie gets larger.
And it goes back by that new marijuana facility. I don't
okay, getting back to business.
Yeah.
There was a motion and a second by Matthew. So those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, same sign, which is none. Okay. That's our somewhat new business. Going back to public comment. You don't say anything? No, we're good. Okay.
Support.
Okay, next one is the famous item number 12. Like to hear a motion to adjourn? Anybody?
I make a motion that we adjourn at 3:37.
And since you're our second taker,
I guess.
Matthew,
I
Pfeiffer
believe
said
you got
his
second
second.
space on there.
Well, you've got a skeleton crew, what do you got?
Listen, yep, I've just got too much work going. I can't do anything new. Sorry,
We are
guys.
officially adjourned.